Welcome to the game, a card game that you play together as a team. Your opponent is the game itself, and the goal is to beat it by playing all cards of the deck by the rules. For the basic version, you need the 4 row cards and the 98 number cards. The 6 cards from the On Fire expansion, which are also included, stay in the box. Take the deck of number cards and shuffle them thoroughly, especially before the first game. The 4 row cards are laid face up, one below the other, like this. Depending on the number of players, everyone starts with a certain amount of cards. At a solo game, deal yourself 8 cards for your hand. At a 2-player game, each player gets 7 cards. When you are 3 to 5 players, everyone gets 6 cards. How to play. After all players checked their hand cards, they decide together who goes first. The other players follow in a clockwise direction. On your turn, you have to lay at least 2 cards from your hand next to any of the 4 row cards, one after the other. In the 2 descending rows of cards, each card laid down must have a lower value than the one before. In the 2 ascending rows of cards, it's exactly the opposite. The number of the next card laid down must always be higher than the number of the previous one. After your turn, you draw the same number of cards from the draw pile to your original number of cards. You can put all your cards on the same pile or on multiple piles in any sequence you like. If possible, you can even play all the cards in your hand, as long as you follow the rules. Regardless of how many cards you played, after your turn, you draw the same number of cards from the draw pile to your original number of cards. Another very important rule affects the communication during the game. It is strictly forbidden to talk about the concrete numbers of your cards. You may give hints like, maybe I have a card for this pile, or don't make a big jump here, but that's all. The backwards trick. The general rule for laying cards in ascending or descending order, depending on which row of cards you want to use, must always be followed. There is only one exception to this. Whenever the value of the number card is exactly 10 higher or lower, you can play them in the reverse order. In this example, you would normally have to lay a card with a value higher than 47 on this pile. However, since you have the number card 37, which is exactly 10 lower, you may also play this card. The same principle applies to the descending piles. Normally, the number card must be lower. The only exception here is number 75, when you have it on your hand. You can use this backwards trick as often as you like during your turn, and you can also combine it with the normal rule for laying cards. End of game. When you come to the point that the draw pile is empty, continue playing without drawing cards. From now on, you only have to play at least 1 card to keep the game alive. The game is immediately over as soon as one of the players cannot lay the minimum number of cards during their turn. 2, if there are still cards left on the draw pile. 1, if the draw pile is empty. Count the total number of cards that were not discarded. The fewer the leftovers, the better the result. If you manage to play all 98 cards, you have beaten the game and everyone has won. Expert and On Fire rules. If you want a tougher challenge than the basic version, you can play the game in slight variations. As a first increase, every player has to lay a minimum of 3 cards per round instead of 2. All the other rules stay the same. If that is still not difficult enough, you can make the selection harder by reducing the number of hand cards by 1. That means 7 instead of 8 cards in a solo game, 6 cards per player in a 2-player game, and 5 cards each when you are 3 to 5 players. On top of this, there is a mini expansion included, the Game on Fire. When you want to play with the expansion, remove the 6 number cards with the values 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, and 77, and replace them with these fire cards. The rest of the setup and the order to play stays exactly the same, with the following addition. If someone plays a fire card, it has to be covered on the next player's turn at the latest. Otherwise, the game is lost immediately. And this is how you play the game. Thank you for watching and enjoy your time with our game.